Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and yeah, we're doing another seasonal championship. This one's called Paving the Way, and we're going to be in Hypercars from the 2010s in S2 class. So extreme amounts of horsepower and speed on offer, and yeah, it should be pretty fun to do as well. So yeah, we're getting there in the new Xpeng P7 that's been added to the game. Doing this seasonal championship will give you 5 points towards getting this car, as well as the BMW M3, which is another car that is being added to the game. Not a new car by any means, but one that is being newly added to the game. So let's see what cars we're going to be driving in and where we're going to be racing. So yeah, obviously we're here near the airport, to the right in the jungle, and up near the motorway. So yeah, plenty of choices here. So yeah, we've got the Aston Martin Valhalla concept car. Got the two Bugattis, the Veyron SS and the Bugatti Chiron. Then we've got the LaFerrari, the Venom GT. Obviously we do have also the newer version of this, the Venom F5. Then we've got three Koenigseggs, the Regera, the Agera RS and the 1-to-1. Then the Veneo from Lamborghini. Then we've got three McLarens, the Speedtail, the P1 and the Senna. I really do like the Speedtail, to be honest. It's probably my favourite of the three there. Then we've got the Neo EP9, the Pagani Huayra BC, the Porsche 918 Spider, Riser Tachyon Speed, Rimac Concept 2, and the two Zenvos, the ST1 and its improved brother, the TSRS. So yeah, I think we're going to go for an electric car to start with, considering, yeah, that's the kind of forefront of what this game has been spearheading with every other car that we've seen so far. We're going to go with the Neo EP9. Cracking handling car with really good braking as well. Not the best acceleration or launch, and the top speed is a little bit limited because it is an electric car. But yeah, it makes up for that with its yeah, cracking handling and braking. So yeah, I'm really pleased that this game is spearheading the forefront on electric cars on this game, because obviously we've got this Neo, we've got the Xpeng, we've got the Rimac, we've got the Riser Tachyon Speed, we've got all sorts of electric cars, and obviously we do have one more coming to this game with the Audi e-tron, which is a car I've been really looking forward to driving, even though obviously it is somewhat based on the Porsche Taycan, which is obviously also on this game. But yeah, obviously we've also got a couple of other cars coming. We've got another Audi in the form of the RS7 Sportback, the new version of that. We've long had the older version of that car on these games, so it's nice to have the brand new version of one of those. And then we've got something from a company called Lynk & Co, with their number 3 Plus sport compact sedan, by the looks of things. It's actually the first, you know, high-powered, high-performance combustion engine-powered sports car that we've had from China. Obviously, we've had plenty of Chinese cars in this game, with this Neo, for instance, and the ruling Sunshine S. But the ruling, even though it's combustion engine, is hardly quick. And obviously these electric cars don't have a combustion engine at all. So yeah, it's nice to have a proper sports car from China that has an engine, proper engine. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what that is like. It's got really rather unique looks to it, which is something that Asian car makers seem to have going for them lately in terms of their car design. It's a lot radically different to European car design, which I think has gotten pretty stale in a lot of ways recently, especially from the likes of BMW or Mercedes, and yeah, seems like the likes of Hyundai, Kia, and all these different Chinese companies that are sprouting up out of nowhere are really spearheading the forefront in car design, and yeah, really enjoying that, quite frankly, because this Neo, for instance, looks absolutely incredible. Rather different to the other hypercars of Europe, for sure. And not exactly slow either, especially when it comes to cornering. Speedy, 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 speedy. Oh, we're going to beat the McLaren. Oh, is it Rimac? Oh, it's a Rimac. Never going to beat that then, because it's got way more power and top speed than we have. But yeah, that second place is pretty good for a car that only had 7 speed and even less in the way of acceleration, which, yeah, didn't at the end of the day really come into it. given that the handling and braking really helped there. So yeah, solid second place for our first race. So let's get on to the second race. So yeah, the Neo there having plenty of power, but not quite the acceleration or off the line grunt that you'd expect. So yeah, we're going to go for something a bit more archaic, I guess you could say, but still really rather advanced, especially for the time, and that is going to be the McLaren Speedtail. Got really aerodynamic body, and as you can see by the enclosed front wheels and the really rather long tail on it, which is why it's called the Speedtail, but still plenty of power. 1036 horsepower is hardly anything to moan about. And yeah, as you can see, the acceleration and the speed are actually better than the Neo, but obviously the handling and braking is somewhat lessened. So yeah, but still hopefully it will do well. And yeah, like I said, it's easily one of my favourite modern McLarens. Certainly stands out compared to the rest of their lineup. Obviously the P1 and the Senna are also quite different, but you compare this to the other lot that quite frankly come a lot of the time come across as being similar to one another. This is definitely one of the standouts in terms of being a bit different. See? So yeah, we've also got two new two cars returning to the series as well. We've got the Bentley Turbo R and the Nissan Sentra Nismo. The Nissan is a fine enough car, but I'm definitely more excited about the Bentley making a return, because that was easily one of my favourite new additions to the Forza series in the previous Horizon game. And yeah, really glad it's back, because it's a fantastic car. I absolutely adore it. Wish we did have more classic Bentleys like that, because there are plenty of them. Yeah, that is obviously we do also have the Bentley 8 litre and the other classic from the 30s, the 4.5 supercharged, whatever it's called. So yeah, obviously we do have even older Bentleys than that one, but we don't have many, you know, 90s Bentleys or, you know, even early 2000s Bentleys anymore. Obviously in previous games we used to have like the original Bentley Continental from the early 2000s and the like, but lately we seem to have lost a lot of those at the moment, and it's a bit of a shame. I love the Bentley Flying Spur, which is basically the saloon version of the Continental. It's a fantastic car. I love the Mulsanne as well, which is obviously a newer Bentley, but I still love that as well. So yeah, for whatever reason Bentley seem to get a little bit overlooked when it comes to their post-90s, early 2000s kinds of cars. So we do have plenty of their modern ones, but some more of their older ones as well. But yeah, this McLaren has done really well. Gained a major lead. Even though it's not as powerful as the Neo, it does have a higher top speed because it's got gearing. Because obviously the Neo's only got the one gear, and as we hit the top of the rev limits of those electric motors, that's all it's got to give. Here, they're easily able to cruise past 200 miles an hour, 208 across the finish line there. So yeah, convincing enough win there, and yeah, that will give us 20 points, taking us up to 36 after the first race as well, putting us just in the lead, 2 points ahead of the Porsche 918 and 12 points ahead of the Valhalla. So yeah, let's get on to the third and final race and see if we can cap off this championship with a win. So, third and final race, I figured we'd cap off with one of the most powerful cars on this game, and yeah, it's another electric car, granted, but is the almighty Rimac Concept 2. 1887 horsepower, which is, yeah, more than, you know, your Zenvos by at least 200 horsepower there. It's more than your Koenigseggs by at least, you know, 387 horsepower over the Regera there. 687 horsepower more than the Venom GT. Hell, it's even more than the Bugatti Chiron, which is all the low-powered car. So, yeah, and obviously being an electric car, it's got all of that power pretty much instantaneously. Granted, it does weigh a fair amount, 4,299 pounds. But the handling is still pretty good, braking is pretty excellent, launch is actually pretty damn great for a an electric car, and obviously the top speed is great as well. It would do more than 260 miles an hour. So yeah, let's see if this can give us the third and final racer win, quite frankly. Obviously we've had a second position and a first place, so obviously I would prefer a first place over anything else with this race, but let's see what this gives us. It's not the prettiest of cars by any means, but fast is, yeah, not even a word that really describes this. It's got jet fighter acceleration, quite frankly. Speed! Handling wise, yeah, it's not the greatest. It does struggle a little bit with its weight and the power that it's got going on, but give it enough breathing room and yeah, you're off into the next continent basically. Obviously what helps this is the fact that it's got at least 2 gears, I think. Obviously you can give it more if you wish by changing out the transmission to a drift transmission, which gives you 4 gears. That's the best way to get the most out of an electric car, if it will let you do that. Yeah, this is hardly slow even with its standard transmission. Especially when it comes to launching it out of corners. It's ridiculous how quick this goes. Do like electric hypercars. There's something about them that's just truly insane. Final run. Gravity will help us down here at lightning fast speed. 223 miles an hour across the finish line there. Easily ahead of everyone else, even if we did crash after the finish line, which is what it looks like happened. But yeah, still, as you can see, more than 4 seconds ahead of the Porsche 918, and yeah, none of those cars outside of obviously a fellow Rimac is going to be able to match us, and yeah, hilariously quick car, and gives us the 20 points, giving us an 8-point lead ahead of the Senna, and 16 points ahead of the 918. So yeah, pretty fun series just purely because of how fast these cars really are. Obviously some are a lot faster than others, but they're still really rather quick regardless, and yeah, more importantly gives you 5 points towards the festival playlist, giving you 5 points towards getting the Xpeng P7, and then 5 points obviously towards also getting the BMW M3. So yeah, both cars are well worth getting, and yeah, you can do it by doing these fun championships. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.